use operators in other programming languages as well, but the way you represent them is something different. We write logical AND by using this double ampersand. We use logical OR by using these two pi symbols, and logical NOT by this exclamation mark. But because of the readability problem, Python has decided that they will not use these symbols for logical operators. Instead, they will use the English phrases like AND, OR, and NOT. They will use English-like phrases like AND, or not. So instead of these symbols in Python, you can use AND, or not in small cases actually. We also talked about why we use logical operators. As you said, that it is used to combine two or more relational expressions. So whenever you have a situation that you have to combine two or more relational expressions, and then you wanted to take the final decision, then you can always use these logical operators for combining the expression. Okay, we also talked about the truth table for the logical operators. Like we seen that in AND, it will be true if all the expressions results true. If any one of them results false, the result will be false. In OR, we seen that it will result true if any of the expression results true, otherwise it results false. So we seen the real-time use cases, we seen that if you wanted to decide whether the person is failed or passed, then you cannot simply decide based on the percentage. If I tell you if any person got more than 65%, then you cannot tell that he passed or he failed. You need to check the individual subject marks. So then what you do is you take the subject marks and you combine them with AND, because you want all of them to be true. Then only you want the result to be true. So that's why you combine the expressions. You say S1 greater than 40, and S2 is greater than 40, and S3 is greater than 40. Okay, so if all the three conditions are true, then only you want it to result as true. If any one of the expression results false, you want it to result as the whole expression should be written as false. So that way you can combine with AND. Similarly, we took another example for age and percentage. We've seen that if both the criteria are true, then you wanted to say it's qualified, otherwise not qualified. And we also seen that when we can use OR, especially you use OR when any one of the condition to be true, then you wanted to take a decision, then you can combine with OR. Anyhow, we're going to see a couple of examples today where we will use these logical operators, okay, in real time. Okay, then the next important point, especially for aptitude point of view or interview point of view, we have covered one more topic called we can also apply this logical operator for other data types as well, like especially non-Boolean type. So if you apply for non-Boolean type, then I told you you have to remember these two rules. The first rule is zero or empty string means false in Python, and non-zero will be treated as true in Python. And also we've seen that if A is truthy, means if the A value is true, if they have two operands, two values, if A is true, then in A or B, it results A. Because if A is true in OR, it doesn't have to check the B. That's what it's called short circuiting actually. Because if A results true, then in OR you know that whether B is false or true does not matter. So it will not check the B value or C value or D value. If first one is true, it simply returns that A value actually, whatever it may be the A value. It can be string. Empty string means nothing, Satyam, like you put the quotes, that's all. Nothing inside that string is generally called it as an empty string. Okay, if you write a single character, a space or anything, like I'll show you. Like if I, for example, if I go here to Python IDLE, and if I say an empty string, and okay, 10. What do you think it's going to return now? Yeah, space will be treated as true. That's true. This is called an empty string. Okay, so what do you think it will return now? What do you think it will return? Empty string. Very good. Because we all know that false, if the first expression results false in AND, it will not evaluate the second expression. So that way it will return me empty string. Okay, so this proves that empty string will also be treated as false. Instead of empty string, if I use space now and say and 10, now in this case what it will return? The difference between the two is here I don't have any character in between, but here I have a space in between. Very good. Okay, very good. So that way it will return 10 in this case. Because now space treated as a true, so true and true will return, means true, and then 10 will give you the 10. So that way it's returning 10. So these statements are different. Both the expressions are different here now. So I hope it's clear, Satyam. Yeah, thank you, Satyam. Okay, so this is all what we talked about. So I hope it's very clear, and we have seen a couple of examples as well yesterday. So this is all about a logical operator. But let us see practically how we use these logical operators and all. But let me go for the third operator. Let me go here and discuss about the third operator. The third operator, okay, we will be discussing today will be, let me select a different color, and yeah, empty string is true or false? It's false, SK. Okay, it's false. I already told you that empty string or zero will be treated as false. Other non-zero value or some string, can be space, can be dollar, can be hello, okay, whatever, can be always treated as true. Okay. Okay, fine. I hope it's clear for everyone. So let's go and talk about the fourth operator, right? So we discussed already three of the operators. We discussed arithmetic operators. We discussed relational operators. We discussed logical operator. Now I think it's good time to introduce a conditional operator. It's good time to introduce conditional operator in Python. Okay, this conditional operator sometimes is also called as shorthand if statement, or sometimes it's also called as ternary operator. So many names given. So let's talk about the conditional operator. I hope you're familiar with conditional operator as well from other programming languages. Have you ever seen conditional operator? Okay, yeah, yeah, that's true. The question mark and the colon. Perfect, but we don't have that again because it is so unreadable that most of the time people will get confused with that one. So we will not have that conditional operator. Nitesh, you are talking about comparison operator. Okay, equals, not equals, they are comparison operator. And conditional operator in other language is something like question mark and colon. But again, guys, we don't have that kind of conditional operator because of the readability problem, because you learn that Python is so readable. The first thing what Python is concerned about, that the readability. Syntax is so simple, so elegant that it is readable by any layman which has no knowledge of computer background. Still, they can able to read it. So that's why they try to focus on the readability of the syntax. So they removed the question mark and the colon approach, and they have a different way of writing the things. So let me tell you that how conditional operator looks in Python. So the syntax of conditional operator is something different here. The syntax of conditional operator is something different here. Okay, listen, means see very carefully that the syntax is whatever the conditional operator expression results or evaluates, you can store it in some variable. So it says that variable is equal to, you will write true statements here. You will write true statement. So you will write the true statement first, and you will use a keyword called if to evaluate the condition. You'll use the keyword called if to evaluate the condition. So it says that if condition is true, then true statements will be evaluated and it will be stored in the result. It's not exactly if else, Rajshekhar, but this is how the conditional operator will be written. They use the keyword like if else, no doubt, but they are not if else exactly. We do have if else as well in Python, so we'll talk about it, but this is how you write the conditional operator. It says that execute true statements if the condition is true, otherwise you execute false statements. Otherwise you execute false statements. So we'll say else, okay, you execute false statement. So what I'll do is I'll write the condition with a different okay, different keyword. Okay, let's write something like okay, with this we can write condition here. We'll have some condition, otherwise else, otherwise else we will have false statements. We'll have false statements. Okay, so this is how it works actually. Let me explain you how it works. Okay, so basically it checks the condition. Basically it checks the condition. If the condition results true, if the condition results true, it executes the true statements and it will store that in the variable. It stores that in the variable. Okay, if the condition results false, it will execute the false statement and then it stores that result in the variable actually. So either the true statement will be executed or false statement will be executed based on the condition. Either true statements will be executed or false statements will be executed based on the condition now. Okay, so how it will work? First, it will directly jumps to the condition. Let me show you the flow. The flow is first it will jump to the condition here now. If the condition is true, okay, then expression 2 will be executed. If the condition is true, then the true statements will be executed and then expression will be evaluated to variable. Okay, this is one flow. The other flow will be if the condition is false. If the condition is false, then false statement will be executed, then the result will be evaluated to a variable. So these are the two different flows you will have, whether true statement will be executed or false statement will be executed. So basically we use conditional operator for the cases where you have statements to be executed in different situations. If the condition is true, you want to execute certain statements, and if the condition is false, you want to execute certain statements, then you can go for this conditional operator. So that's the name says that it is called conditional operator. Based on the condition, the statements will be executed now. So to understand in a better way, let's go for a simple lab to understand how the conditional operator works actually. Okay, let us see this simple example now. So now I'll go here now. The question, it says that you have to write a Python program to find whether a given number, or you need to accept from the user, is even or odd. Okay, so you need to check whether the number is even or whether the number is odd. So there can be multiple test cases now. The first test case says that if you enter a number like 4, your program should print even, 4 is even. If you enter a number as 7, then your program should say the number is odd. Okay, is this question clear? Is this question clear? Okay. Can you try this with the help of conditional operator? I hope you all copied the syntax of conditional operator. Yeah, perfect. So please, I'll give you 2 minutes. Try to implement this problem using conditional operator. Oh, that's wonderful. Ubul has done. SK has completed. Very nice. And Satyam has already sent us the code. Okay, very good. So everybody is done with the code. I think it's time to show you all. So let's start executing as well. Okay, perfect, guys. So I'll open a script now to write the code. So I'm here. So there's a big problem here. So I will remove this problem and let's start writing it. Now, what I'll do is I'll start writing the code here. The first thing is you have to accept the number from user. Okay, good to see Vishwajit, Nagaraja, Nitin. Okay, so everyone has completed the code. Very nice. Okay, very nice to see. So let's start writing the code now. Let's start writing the code. So we accept the number from user. So I'll convert into integer because it's an integer number. So I will say input and I'll say enter any number. Okay, enter any number. So user will enter the number. So I'll end the double quotes, close the brackets and close another bracket here. So this is how I'm going to take an input here now. Okay, can you tell me what is the next line? Can you tell me what will be the next line? Okay, but what is that variable means here now? What is that v actually means? No doubt, I have written this variable. I have written this variable, and this variable will be an optional value. This variable will be an optional. Okay, this variable will be an optional now. So we need to try to understand that true statement can be any statement. True statement can be any statement. It can be an expression, it can be a print statement, it can be an input statement, or it can be any valid Python statement actually. Okay, it can be valid a Python statement. So if you are writing a print statement here, well, then the variable is not required. The variable is required only if you are storing the result of this condition in the variable. So as you have used print statement, then you don't require a variable there. You don't require a variable. So let us try to write it down now. So let me show you with both, with variable and without variable. Let me show you with variable or without variable. Okay, so what you can do is you can use a variable. Let's say the variable name is result. Variable name is result. What you can store in the variable is you can store a string called e1. You can store a string called e1 if okay, if the remainder, because we all know that we can say that number is even if the remainder is 0. How to check the remainder? You can simply divide with 2, and you can use modulus division here because we are checking the remainder. And we know that to check the equality we have this operator called double equal, and I can write 0 on the right hand side. I hope you have implemented in the same way. You said that n modulus 2 is equal to 0. What is this n modulus 2 is equal to 0 will do? It will take that number and divide that number with 2. And if the remainder is resulting 0, then what it will do is it will store this true statement in the result. So what is my true statement here? True statement, I wrote it as a string. Okay, that I wanted to store that string as an e1 in my result. Otherwise, else I would like to store a string called false. I would like to store a string called false here now. So I am saying that store a string called even in the result if the uh, condition results true. Otherwise, you store false. Otherwise, you store false now. That's all. How readable it is, you see. You are saying that store even if the condition results true. Otherwise, you store false. Or sorry, it's not false. It's odd. Thank you, Satyam. Thank you. I would like to store odd here now. Okay. Now what I will do, I will simply go here and print that. I'll print that n value. I will print that n value, and I'll say is I will print the result. That's all. This is how I can print it. Now I will run this code now. I will run this code here, and I can see that I enter the number called 2. It says 2 is even, as we expected. Okay. Modulus operator is not found in my phone. Okay. You will find. I think you need to search a little bit, and you can see here you will found modulus operator somewhere around. It will be there definitely. And this is my first test case. And if I run this program again, and this time if I give my another input like 7, it will tell me 7 is odd. So it's printing me 7 is 2 is even and 7 is odd. So you can see here one of the expression is getting printed. One of the expression is getting printed now, but we definitely have to use modulus operator, because if I use our division operator, it results you the complete result, or if I use floor division, it results me the quotient. So I'm not looking for quotient or the complete result, I'm looking for the remainder. So we all know that to get the remainder value, we have a special operator called modulus operator in Python. And also you can use this print statement directly here. You can also use this print statement directly, because here storing the result makes no sense, because I'm not evaluating any expression. I can simply print that it's even, n is even. Otherwise, I can print n is odd. So instead of storing this result, I can print the things directly, meaning I can use my print statement directly. So no need to store that expression if you are using the print statement directly. You don't need any variable now. So that's why I told you the variable is optional. The variable is optional, and true statement can be any statement. It can be a print statement, it can be an input statement, it can be any expression, or it can be a string, or it can be integer, or anything based on your requirement, based on the problem you will be writing. So it changes from problem to problem. The condition will change from program to program. The statements will be changed from program to program, but it should be a valid Python statement. It should be a valid Python statement. And don't you think it's so readable that I'm saying that print n is even if n divided by 2, else you print n is odd. Comparative to that question mark and colon, this is much readable now. This is much readable. That's why, yeah, you did this way, Aditi, perfectly fine. Okay, so both the way it's allowed. So if you use this way, it's perfectly fine. But I want to make you understand what is the use of the variable, so I have introduced with the variable. So you can skip the variable if you are printing the statements directly. So I hope it's clear, guys. I hope all of you either might have done the previous way or this way, both are correct. Previous way or this way, both are correct. But you need to make the syntax proper. If you check the condition, then you print, things will go wrong, guys. If you try to do this way, if and then you're writing this statement and then else, you go wrong, and you will end up with an error. Please do not write the wrong syntax, because in the syntax, if does not come first. Okay, if does not come first. This is how you generally write if else in other languages, but do not write it like this, because this is not the way you write if else in Python. Okay, there's a different syntax for if else. Never ever try to write this way. Never ever try to write this way, because the syntax says that the true statements comes before if. So whatever the true statements you want to execute, please place them before if. Then you start if condition and then else part actually. So do not write if then followed by the true statements, then else followed by the false statement. Okay, that doesn't syntax does not talk about this way. Okay, thank you, Narinder, for confirming. So this is how you write a conditional operator now. I hope the problem is clear, as well as we learn how to implement our conditional operator. Okay, thank you, Nitesh, for confirming. Thank you, Udit. Thank you, Rajshekhar. Let me check anybody having any question regarding conditional operator. Anybody having any doubt regarding conditional operator? Okay, thank you, Aditi. Thank you, Mohammed. Yeah, thank you, Satyam. So no doubts regarding conditional operator. Very perfect. Shall we go for one more exercise? Yeah, we will talk about that, Nagaraja. We'll talk about once we complete operators. We're still in operators now. We are learning fourth operator. We have still four more operators to discuss. After discussing that, we will go for conditional statements. Then we will talk about indentation and all. We'll talk about it. But there is no indentation concept here right now, so no worry about indentation. Okay, Nagaraja? Okay, perfect. So we are discussing about conditional operator. The next exercise is what we studied during logical operator. Now you can use logical operator. Now actually you can implement and show me that you can write a program to check whether entered character is vowel or consonant. Okay, you can check whether entered character is vowel or consonant. Like for example, if you enter a character like a, it should print you a is vowel. If you print any enter any other character than a, e, I, o, u, then it should say it's a consonant. Can we write this program using conditional operator? Actually, it should be both, Satyam. First, you check with capital. Actually, it should be both. Okay, so let's see that. So if you are getting a sample input output, what I have given, if you can able to evaluate both the test cases, then it means you're done. Okay, you can check with any other input. First, you can check with the given test cases. You enter A, check whether it is printing vowel, and you enter Y or any other alphabet and check whether it is printing consonant. This how you can check whether the entered character is a vowel or consonant. Okay, thank you. Very good. So Kudal is done with the problem statement. Yeah, thank you, Vishwajit. So Vishwajit done. Let me wait for a minute and see that everybody completes so that I can show. Yeah, that's perfect, Nitin. Okay, so I think now we will also start doing. Okay, I can understand the program is little lengthy because you need to write many conditions here. So that's why it's taking time. First thing, I will change my sentence here. Call, let's say, yeah, Nagaraj says done with the program. Thank you. Okay, so let's say enter any character. Enter any character. Do you think any changes to the first line? Okay, it can be n, no problem, Vishwajit. The variable name can be n. So Satyam has sent us the problem. So it's perfectly fine. Okay, perfectly fine. Very good, Nitin. So we don't need any conversion here. That's perfect because you are entering a character. So we don't need any conversion here now. Okay, that will be taken as a string. Yeah, very good, Vamshi. So no casting or no conversion is required actually because we are directly accepting like a string here now. So that's perfect. Now the condition will be like this. So I will print that n is vowel. Okay, I will print it is vowel if the condition is little lengthy here now. The condition is little lengthy. I can check n is equal to capital A, or n is equal to capital E. Okay, or n is equal to, okay, what I can do is I can also check with small letters. I can also check with small letters here. A, okay, E, then I can check with I, okay, and or I can check n is equal to O, then or I can check n is equal to U. So first thing, we understood that here we have to use or operator, and we have to use the conditions properly. Okay, n is equal to A, or n is equal to E, n is equal to I, O, U. So I have checked the five conditions here, combining with or, and then if otherwise, I can simply print that n is consonant. I can print n is consonant. So this is my program. So if any of the condition results true, it will print me vowel. Otherwise, it will print me consonant. Yeah, we will talk about both small and capital, and we will try to change this program little bit as well. Let's try to make it simplified little bit, because it's looking little bigger. So let's try to do that way. First, let us try to execute this. Let us try to execute this now. Yeah, perfectly fine, Kudal. You can also print that way. Okay, so let's get here and try to print it. So what I can say here now, that I can just enter any character. Let's say A. It prints me A is vowel. It prints me A is vowel. I'll run the code again. Okay, I'll run the code again. Now you can see here, if I enter any character like Z, it says Z is consonant. So it's working perfectly fine. I can check again with any vowel now. I can check with U. It says U is vowel. So it's perfectly printing. It's perfectly printing. Can we use brackets with if statement? Not needed. Not needed. Because I told you that Python avoided all these things. Python says no opening closing bracket, no parenthesis, no semicolons. So all that unnecessary things can be avoided as well. But still, if you write nothing wrong, it treated as one expression, because you learned last session that any expression can be enclosed in parenthesis. So it thinks that is just an expression. We never use parenthesis after if statement or else statement in Python. Okay, so it's not needed actually. Yeah, so we will solve a couple of problems, like what if it is entered capital letter. Now actually, when I enter capital letter now, the things will not work. If I enter it as a capital letter, then it says it's a consonant, which is wrong, because none of the condition is mapping, okay, with a capital letter. So in that case, you need to check five more conditions, or else what you do is, after taking that input, you convert that into lower. There is a function called lower. There is a function called lower. So even if you enter capital letter, temporarily it will convert into lower letters. So that is shortcut way that you can write it. So even if I enter capital letter, it will convert into lower, and it's printing me A is vowel. A is vowel. But you see that A is not actually converted into capital. What you entered has been stored in A, but it's working. It's working, right? So no, that way you cannot do. Okay, okay, perfect, Udit. Perfect. We will. So it's a function. Yes, it's a function called lower, which can convert into lowercase. Okay, which can convert into lowercase and then store it out. So that way, even that capital will work now. So in this case, now I will not print n value, because it will print me what you entered. So simply I will print whether it is vowel or it is consonant. Okay, is vowel or consonant, that I can print it. Now it perfectly works with any letter now. So that way I can make my life easy, right? Yeah, but if you take capital first and want small letter to be recognized, whatever, you enter anything. It says is vowel now. Understood, Aditi? Now you can enter anything, capital or small, it will work perfectly fine. Okay, I can enter Z, it says consonant. Z is consonant. Okay, and I can enter something like E or capital E. It says it's vowel. Now you cannot print that letter because it's ultimately converting into lowercase. So that way I cannot do that way. Okay. So there are some limitations now, but I can still print whether it is vowel or consonant. I can print whether it is vowel or consonant. I simply use, instead of making five more conditions, I simply use my method called lower to convert into lowercase. So simply use my thing called lower and I convert into lowercase now. Okay, very good. So Vishwajit confirms, Satyam confirms that instead of making more conditions, I can simply use this method and I can convert into lowercase and I can check and I can print it. Because my intention is to print it's vowel or consonant, I can do it now. But interestingly, I would also like to introduce you one more operator. Interestingly, I would like to introduce you one more operator now so that I can solve this problem in a little easy way. I can solve this problem in much easy way. I can introduce that one. The fifth operator, which is very new to you, which is called membership operator. Okay, membership operator. So couple of operators has been added. Yes, that's true, Vishwajit. Your code will go a little wrong. So let's make it a little shorter with this membership operator now. So let me introduce you what is this membership operators. There are two membership operators. Can you guess? Any guesses? Like what are the membership operators we have? I'm introducing you the fifth operator to solve this problem actually. I'm introducing you the fifth operator called membership operator to solve the above problem. So there are total 8 operators we will discuss. Okay. So we have discussed arithmetic operators. We have discussed relational operators. We have discussed logical operators. Okay. Now we discuss conditional operator. We will introduce membership operator. Very perfect, Krishna. The membership operator is in and not in. In, comma, not in. These are the two operators. Okay. Ubul, you already used it. Right, Ubul? Okay, so in and not in. So these are the two membership operators. Nagaraja and others, you need to correct yourself that in and not in is the membership operator. And what it will do is, it will check whether the value is available in that sequence or not. Okay, so whether the particular value is available in the sequence or not. So I can make my program so simple by using this membership operator rather than writing many conditions actually. Rather than writing this many conditions, I can make it more simple. How can I make it more simple? I can simply check whether n is okay in this particular thing or not. A, E, I, O, U. That's all. I can check whether my n is in this string or not. If n value is available in this string, it will print vowel, otherwise it will print consonant. Don't you think it's much simpler now compared to the previous one? I don't have to check each and every condition and take it or. I can simply take that string which is A, E, I, O, U. If n is available, n operator will check whether it is there in that or not. Okay, how it works I will show you. Okay, but let me show you the execution part. And I can say here I can enter A, it's saying A is vowel. Okay, when I enter any other thing like capital Z, it's printing me that it's consonant. It's working. It's working. How it will work I will show you. Even here no need to convert into lowercase. Even I can print that n value now. So what I can do is I can simply add that capital letters also. If you wish, you can add A, E, I, O, U as well. So small letters as well as capital letters. Now it will work for both small letters and capital letters. Only I added there. So small letter A, it says A is vowel. Okay, capital letter, sorry. And now I'll give small letter A, it says A is vowel. It's working for both capital as well as small now. Okay, let me explain you how it is working. Now In operator is a membership operator. In operator is a membership operator. What it will simply do in membership operator is, what it will do in membership operator is, like for example, if you have a big string, you can simply check whether that string is available in that or not. For example, I can check something like Python. Okay, like I can check great some string, okay, available in some string. I can say great in great in, I can write some string here. Now I can write some string. Python is great programming language, or whatever the sentence. Now this string will be searched in this particular string now. Okay, whether this string or whether this particular element is present in that given string or not. If it is present, it simply returns true. It simply returns true. Otherwise, it will return false. Otherwise, it will return false. Understood, Aditi? That left hand side is available in the sequence, it will return true, otherwise it is false. Like for example, I say Python is awesome. Python is awesome. Now it will return false because the string is not available. So that's why it's working here now. Whatever you have taken in n, whether it is small a or capital A or something, it will check whether it is available in this given string or not, whether it is available in the given string or not. But we did not use even comma to separate that vowel. Yeah, because it's a string. I'm directly taking it as a string now. No, it is not only work with string, it can work with any sequence. It can work with any sequence. I can take it as a list as well, but it will work with sequence only. The membership operator will work with only sequence, guys. Sequence means it can work with only, there is some limitation that it can only work with string, list, tuple. Okay, it only works with the sequence kind of thing. Yeah, then you don't require this equals to and everything. You use another operator called in operator. You don't use equals to and something here now. Okay, because you are checking whether this particular string is available in this or not. A very useful operator. Then obviously it will say consonant. If you give n value as iz, then it will say consonant because there is no vowel like iz. So simply go and print consonant now. Yes, it should read it as one string. That's true, Aditi. It will be reading it as a one string. No need to put comma in between and all. Okay. So I hope I answered your question, Aditi, and SK as well. That it will not only work with string, it can also work with list as well as tuple. Like for example, you can check here. For example, you can check here that whether 10 is available in this list or not. Like I give 1, 2, 5, 7, okay, something like this, 8. I can give a list now. I can check whether 10 is available in this list or not. Yes, it will return true. Very good, SK. Awesome in Python will return true because that particular string is available in that given sequence. So it will check whether this member is available in the sequence or not. Very simple. That is called membership operator. Okay, that is called membership operator. For example, instead of in, if I write not in, what do you think it will return now? What do you think it will return now? 10 not in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8. Yes, very good. It will return true. It is not there. So you can check whether it is there or not there. Understood, everyone? You can check whether it is there or not there. Like I can check 10. Okay, 10 not in. 10 not in. Sorry, I should write in small letters. 10 not in, and then I can take some list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then it returns true. Yes, it's not there now. So in and not in will check whether that particular member is available in the sequence or not. So sequence can be string, can be list, or can be tuple. So what is this list, tuple and all, we'll talk about later, but it can be anything. So for your knowledge, you can note down. For your knowledge, you can note down that membership operator works with this data type only. Work with this data type only. Okay, so let's check. You want to check like 1 comma 2 is available in 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5, and it says false because it's something different. Okay, because you are checking for a number, but there is nothing like 1 comma 2 with parenthesis available. So Krishna, it will not work in that. I will explain, like, because this is tuple actually. Okay, so others will get confused. So that's why I will explain later. So it gives Boolean value as output. Very good. If we don't have anything to print explicitly, very good. This operator returns only true or false. Very good, guys. Yeah, I can take example of string. Like I just said you, like Python. I want to check where, let's say something like this. Awesome. Okay. In string call Python. Okay, Python is awesome. Python is awesome. I wanted to check like this. It will say true. Yes, it is available. So that's why this generally used in flow state, flow control, like if or for loop. You've seen that we use this operator a lot in for loop. Okay, we use this operator a lot in for loop. So that way, this membership operator plays a very important role in Python. So you see that our problem has been reduced to a very simple one. Instead of making many conditions, I can simply write whether this available in this a string or not. If it is available in the string, I can print it is vowel, otherwise I can print consonant. I hope you all got it now, what is membership operator and what is conditional operator. Okay, thank you for confirming, guys. It's one of the interesting operator actually. It's one of the interesting operator called in and not in to check whether that particular member is available in that string or not, whether it is particular string is available in that or not. Okay, so thank you Vishwajit, thank you Raman, thank you Saif for confirming, and thank you others for confirming that you understood both the operators. So we introduced two operators today, conditional operator and membership operator. Conditional operator and membership operator. Anyhow, there are some more operators I would like to talk about. Then we'll go for some more problem. Let me introduce another operator now. Then we will conclude. The next operator we would like to talk about is generally called as sixth operator. I would like to introduce. The order does not matter. I'm just introducing based on my requirement actually. The order can be anything, guys. The order can be anything. I would like to introduce one more operator called identity operator. One more operator called identity operator. Any guesses again? Any guesses about identity operator? Very good, Satyam. Very good. We have these identity operators. We have these identity operators like is. Okay, we have this identity operator like is and is not. Okay, so these are the identity operators we have called is and is not. Why we use this identity operator? The name itself tells you it checks the identity, meaning it checks the address. It checks the address of that particular thing now. So let me explain you with example. Let me explain you this with an example now. For example, I will take s is equal to hello. S is equal to hello. Okay, you all know what happens when I say s is equal to hello. When I say s is equal to hello, you know all what happens internally in the memory, because we already talked about like how memory gets allocated for this s now. Because identity operator is used to check the addresses. Like we already learned that equals operator will check the content. So if you wanted to check the addresses, is and is not will be very useful, especially to check the address of that particular thing. So what happens, guys? We all know that what happens now, an object gets created called hello. An object gets created called hello, and s will be referring to it. Let's make it s1. Let it be the address as 2001. Let it be the address as 2001. So I created s1 is equal to hello now. Okay, what will happen when I say s2 is equal to hello again? What will happen when I say s2 is equal to hello? What happens now when I say s2 is equal to hello? Point to the same object, true? Both of them will refer to the same object, right? We learn that in heap memory, it will check if the already object is available, it will not create another object. Simply, S2 will be referring to the same object. S2 will be referring to the same object now. So both of them will refer to the same object. What if I say S3 is equal to world? What if I say S3 is equal to world? A new object gets created. Very good. A new object gets created this time because it's not available in the heap. So new object gets created called world and with some other address, and you can see that S3 is pointing to this now. S3 is pointing to this. Now if I ask a question, like S1 is S2, what it will say? What it will say now? S1 is S2. Are they pointing to same address? Yes. It will check the address, guys. It checks where S1 and S2 are pointing to same address, so it will return true. It will return true because both are pointing to same address actually. Both are pointing to same address. If I say S1 is S3, S1 is S3, it will return false. Very good. It will return false because they are pointing to different addresses now. So I can also use not in. I can also use not in, is not. So that way it will show you whether it is there or not. Okay, I can prove you this with example. Yeah, I will would like to answer the question, but first let me show you these operators now. So I will take s1 is equal to hello. So we know that it gets created an object called hello and it's pointed by s1, and I say s2 is equal to hello again. So we can see that it also pointing to the same object. It is also pointing to the same object. When I say s3 is equal to world, s3 is equal to world, then it will be pointing to another object. Now when I say s1 is s2, it will say true because both are pointing to same object. And when I say s1 is s3, it will say false. It will say false. When I say s1 is not s3, what do you think? S1 is not S3? Yeah, both are different. Both are different. The case matters, guys. Yeah, basically to check the authenticity of an object. Yes, that's true. Then. So it will return true now. It will return true. Understood, everyone? That it will check whether they are pointing to same or not. Whether they are pointing to same or not. Okay. Now the question comes here. The question comes here. The difference between equals to, the difference between double equal and is operator. What is the difference between them? I would like to explain you this with another example now. Let's go with list now. Let's go with list and try to understand. Let's go with list and try to understand now the difference between them. Okay, so if I create a list, I'll say L1 is equal to 1, 2, 3. What do you think, guys? Now tell me what happens in the memory now. What happens when I say L1 is equal to 1, 2, 3? What happens now when I say L1 is equal to 1, 2, 3? Okay, it's like array or list, whatever. But in the memory, you all know that memory gets allocated for this 1, 2, 3, and address will be 2001. And you agree that L1 will be pointing to this? Very good. L1 will be pointing to this now. Okay, L1 will be pointing to this. Next line, I will say L2 is equal to 1, 2, 3 now. L2 is equal to 1, 2, 3. Now tell me what happens now. That's true, Narendra, that memory allocates in the heap and then L1 will be referring to it. What happens when I say L2 is equal to 1, 2, 3? What happens when I say L2 is equal to 1, 2, 3 now? Okay, I think not pointing now. Sorry, I didn't get you, Satyam. Narendra says a reference will be created and it points to the same object. Udit says it refers to the same object. Very good. Satyam, I didn't get you. Ubul also says that, okay, it's point to the same object. A new reference will be created. Yeah, same object points to same object. Yeah, everybody says points to same object. But actually, no, guys. Actually, no. Another object gets created. Another object gets created because list is mutable. List is mutable. It can be changed. So if it both points to the same object, then it will create a problem, right? Yeah, that's what your answer. And I understood, Satyam. That's why I ask you. We already talked about mutability and immutability. So string and all are immutable, but list is mutable. If L1 and L2 are point to same object, if L1 gets changes, it affects L2 as well. So that's why it will not point to the same object, it will create another object, remember, as it is mutable. Understood everyone now? Yes, consistency problem will occur. So that's why it will create a new object. It will not point to the same object now. It will not point to the same object now. Okay. Now can if I say L1 or I also create one more one or I can check. Can I say here L1 is L2? What it will be the answer now? L1 is L2. What will be the answer? False. False. Okay, because they are pointing to different object now. Even though the content is same, it will return false now. So this proves that they will pointing to two different locations. Now let me prove. Okay, let me prove here. I'll start my shell and I'll prove you now. Okay, so here I will take a list now. L1 is equal to square brackets 1 comma 2 comma 3. This is my list gets created, and L2 is equal to square brackets 1 comma 2 comma 3. Okay, now when I ask L1 is L2, it will return false. It will return false because it has different addresses. You can also check ID of L1 and you can print ID of L2. You can check that there are two different addresses actually. Agree? Even though the content is same, but addresses are created different. But what if I say L1 is equal to L2? L1 is equal to L2 will return true 100% because equals will check the content and is will check the addresses. Okay, is will check the addresses. So this will return true. Because why I'm explaining this, because you may get confused here, that is checking the content or address. Hello and hello are same. Okay, so you may get a doubt that is operator is checking the address or content. So we have proved with this example now that is checking the content addresses, not the content. If you want to check the content, then you have to use this double equal. It will check the content and this will check the address. No, they are not same. They are not same. That's what, but they are not same. In case of hello, seems to be similar, but they are not same. That's what I wanted to explain you. Is will always check the address and equals who will check the content. So I explain you with this example, and even it's same with this example because both are pointing to same. So the content and address is same. So that's why it's returning true in both the cases, Aditi. But they are not same. But they are not same. Clear? Okay. Thank you, Aditi, for your question. Yeah, L1 is equal to L2 will return true, Shikawat. We've seen that. L1 is equal to L2 will return true because their content is same, but addresses are different. Content is same, addresses are different. So I hope we got it now. We introduced three operators today. Okay, we introduced conditional operator, we introduced membership operator, and we introduced identity operator. So in case of tuple, it would refer same object. Yeah, very good, Udit. That's true. That's true. Because tuple is immutable, so it will refer to the same object. You can try with that, no problem. Okay, just change that square brackets to parenthesis. You see a different result now. I'll change this to parenthesis now. That becomes the tuple, and tuple is immutable, so it will share the things. Now L1 and L2 is equal to parenthesis, and I can say 1 comma 2 comma 3. Now I will ask L1 is L2. Now you see, but no, as a tuple again, it's still immutable, but the different things you can print the ID of L1 and L2, ID of L1 and ID of L2. We'll talk about in detail anyhow, Ubul, when we go for it, but it's getting you different address. I'll tell you why. Even though it's immutable, but you will get a different addresses actually. You'll not get the same address. We'll talk about it, Udit, sorry. Okay? Sir, but in case of string, it will be same, sir, right? Because object has the same address. Yes, Aditi. It is same, but you need to understand that double equal is different and is different. Double equals is different and is different. That we need to understand. Double equals is used for checking the content, and is or is not is used to check the addresses. That's what we need to conclude now. So now it's okay that all these operators, we use conditional operator for checking the condition. We use membership operator to check whether that member is belongs to that sequence or not. And identity operator is used to check the identity or the address of the object. Okay, so these are the new operators we have called membership operator and identity operator. So we may use this operator very frequently in our applications. So now we conclude 6 operators we discuss in all these days. We discuss arithmetic operator in detail, and we discuss relational operator, we discuss logical operator, and today we discuss 3 more operators. There are 2 more operators remaining called assignment operator and bitwise operator. Possibly we will discuss next week, or we will start with the new operator. Comparison operator is same like relational operator, Satyam. The comparison operator is same like relational operator. Yeah, that comes under bitwise operators, Aditi. The shift operator, right shift, left shift, ones complement, they all comes in bitwise operator. Okay, so the 2 operators left over is assignment operator and bitwise operator. Possibly we'll discuss on Monday, or else we'll start with a new topic and we'll discuss some other time. Okay, some weekend we will discuss those operators, but you can write some subheading, because I'll give you an exercise now. You can try this exercise so that I can start a new topic. The homework exercise, anyhow you have that assignment now. I think you can start solving more assignments now. Okay, you can start solving, because I asked you to solve first 10 assignments. Now you can have some more assignments to solve. Meantime, you can take this as well as an homework. You can use this ternary operator. No class. Yeah, we have class tomorrow. Sorry, we have class tomorrow. So at least you can solve this thing, guys. Write a Python program to find the largest among 3 numbers. So you can take 3 numbers and you can find the largest among 3 numbers. Take the screenshot. You must get the same input and output using our conditional operator. Try this for tomorrow. We'll discuss this tomorrow. Okay? Fine. Okay. So anyhow, I thought tomorrow no class, so that's why we did. But anyhow, we'll try to solve this problem tomorrow, as well as we'll discuss the remaining operators. Yes, conditional is also called ternary sometime, but it's not appropriate word. Conditional operator is also called as ternary, Abhishek. But according to me, it's not the appropriate one, because it doesn't look like ternary. It anyhow takes 3 expression, but generally it is also called as shorthand if statement or conditional statement generally. As in the question they mentioned ternary operator, because it is general problem, so it can be applicable for C, C++, and Java. So same can be applied for Python as well. Okay. Thank you, Abhishek. Thank you, Satyam. Yeah, thank you, Vishwajit. Have a nice day. Bye. Yeah, thank you, Abhishek. Thank you, Satyam. There was a question like, did we discuss all the data types? No, Santosh. It's a big topic. So after flow control, we will start discussing data types. I have not discussed data types. There are 14 data types actually. It's a big session, so I need that will be our next topic. Okay, so in assignment, yeah, so in assignment set one, 6 question, you're getting a different answer. I think sample input output you can neglect, Ubul. It was written by some third person, so I haven't checked yet. Okay, so if you're getting and if you think your answer is correct, so it's okay. I will also check with that. We'll discuss Nagaraja, where we use that and all. We will discuss. That is our next topic. We'll start flow control next week. Yeah, that's then you can take it, Ubul, because someone else has been written, so I'm not sure about it. Uh, yeah, see you tomorrow, Udit. Tuple and all will talk about Aditi in data types. List, tuple. In short, we cannot say because we need at least a session or a couple of sessions to discuss each data type. It's a big topic actually. So we're going to explore 14 data types, Aditi. Most probably next week we will start. So we'll discuss in detail. Yes, Satyam, that's true. Sometimes if it is getting with different with sample input output, please neglect that. I will also verify once again. I'll verify once again. Okay. So no problem. Yeah. Thank you, Nagaraja. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day. Yeah. Thank you, Aditi. Thank you all. So we'll see you tomorrow. Okay.